Let's see. Being recorded. Got it. Okay. Okay, so I think the first thing is, let's see, probably
Couple of things, Roland. We do have the two sets of minutes. I don't know that we can approve them yet. I think we're still short a member. And Tim is not going to be coming to this meeting.
okay.
I mean, we have three members, Tina. We have myself, Roland, and Jennifer.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't, I
problem
gotta,
is Jennifer wasn't at the meeting.
right.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so we're probably not going to be able to take those minutes up, right?
I
No,
don't think so. Jack McCarthy said he was going to be here tonight, but we can check on that after.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so I guess we'll just go ahead and talk to the DPW director.
Okay, thank you all for taking the time to meet with me this afternoon. Still afternoon, right? Got a little bit before evening. I have a few items here from the last meeting. We had some follow-up information requested, as well as a decision following a recent road committee meeting. Why don't we start things off with our track list? If you don't mind, I'll share my screen here. Oh, host disabled. Can we enable that by chance? Oh, here we go. Fantastic. Thank you. All right. Let's see. Screen one. I believe, does everybody see here BW12, MT7 and North Main paving?
yep.
Yep.
All right. Fantastic. All right. So let's start with our MT7. This is our track list. Oh, actually, I probably shouldn't move this because you won't see it. Sorry about that. So some questions had come up concerning comps for this. This was essentially the final request for our track list. This is a combination unit used in both the winter and the summer, different uses, in a total of 248,000. We had discussed having some comps for discussion on the Bombardier style equivalents. We did receive a quote on this machine, and keep in mind this is just a single machine. We would still need the summertime operations as well, but this quote came in for the machine itself at $171,537 with the snowblower attachment in at $32, and so on and so forth. For conversation, this is what this unit would actually look like. Can everybody see that okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. In addition to that, we were looking at potentially supplementing the summertime operations with a Kubota. This would be similar to, let's see, I'm sorry, here's the quote for the Kubota MT5. And I do have a photo of this as well. And that would be similar to this. So it's a smaller tractor, and as you can see, it's got a beautiful setup for the side flail. It would do a fantastic job, but I guess the point that I'm trying to make here is the price differential is substantial. So I think the conversation where we were at with a multi-use unit compared to the tracked wintertime operation unit and supplementing that with the summertime tractor here with the side flail, essentially it would be substantially higher. Originally, we had actually talked about potentially using something like this for the wintertime operations. The drawback that we've discovered was the width of it. It's just too wide for our sidewalk, so we couldn't comfortably get something like this, even with the V plow down the sidewalks. So I guess this is more of just a follow-up to the original conversation on, what would something like this, comparatively speaking, what would this run the town? Anybody have any questions on either of these pieces of equipment? Sure.
Yeah, I do. The SW50, that you're talking about, you're saying you're gonna use it to mow lawns in the summertime?
No, 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 no. So that's where that other Kubota comes into play. So we would use that SW50 in the wintertime ops, and then that would essentially get parked where that Kubota unit would come into play.
All right, so well, bring back the price quote on the SW50.
I believe yeah, this is it right here, Joe. Sorry.
Screen, yeah.
All right. All right.
I'm gonna be honest, it was more than I was anticipating, but again, we discussed it. I just wanted to bring it forward so we can certainly view it and see what everybody thought.
Is Mary with us tonight?
I don't see Mary on this.
I'm just curious which.
Mary said she wouldn't be available tonight, and we just have to let her know what the recommendations are.
All right, well, I mean, where's the money coming from for this?
And just to recap, so the original conversation was to, potentially move forward with the trackless unit. I don't know if that's still the direction that we're contemplating, but essentially the trackless came in, and again, the trackless is the dual season use. We'd use it year round, and this came in at 248 with all the attachments.
Well, Jesse, until I hear from Aaron
How
saying
old
we
is the
got,
one we're getting rid of?
Great question, Roland. It is a 2014. I do
And
have
is that
photos of
also-
that if it's helpful too, for reference. Actually photos that are of that current vehicle. Let's see here. Just give me one moment. I'll pull those up for you.
And who makes that one?
So the unit is actually trackless. So as you can see right here, it's an MT6. They no longer make the MT6. The new model is actually an MT7. Let me see here. FY24 vehicles.
The
Can I
picture you
just-
keep showing us is actually not a trackless unit, it's a track unit.
No, so Roland, great question. That was actually just the conversational piece. The piece that we're looking to replace is actually, let me pull that up for you right now. Trackless photos. All right, I'll drag these over as they open. So this is not a great photo. So these are just detailing some of the current body, the condition of the current body in the frame. But if you would like to see what an MT7 actually looks like, I will pull that up as well. MT7 track.
While you're doing that, I just had a question. We, at the October 3rd, the minutes, when Jesse was there, he had presented the 2014 for replacement with the M7, and it was recommended and approved. So I'm not I'm just trying to figure out at that point. I've got to pull up my finance minutes to figure out where they were taking it out of. But I have that it was approved. Do I have this wrong?
No, I believe that is correct. I just I didn't know if we needed to discuss. There were some questions about the other pieces of equipment. I just thought they would be beneficial for discussion if the other board members were interested. If not, we could certainly move on. I just wanted to be transparent on what we were proposing and what a comparable replacement would be. With the tracked unit and so on and so forth. So this right here is the unit that we're discussing that we had previously voted to approve. However, it was requested additional information on the others, which was what I was trying to show, with some of these photos here.
And looking through my minutes here, I have that it's free cash. I have, let me see here, 248, 243 out of free cash.
the finance committee take any action on this, or
Yes.
this didn't make
Yeah.
it? What did the finance committee say?
It was approved.
All right.
All right,
And I apologize, maybe it was overkill bringing this forward. I thought it was an item that the committee was interested in seeing the comps on.
Yeah, we were, but the finance committee has already approved the purchase. We're in a situation of being a moot point.
well, not really. You can always take it up at town meeting. Anyway, okay. All right, so we
So
already
I
voted on
guess
this
just
thing.
for the conversation, the price point was much higher if we were to separate the units, unfortunately. It's certainly a piece of equipment that goes out on a regular basis, takes care of our sidewalks, our brush on the side of the road in the summertime, things of that nature. But again, just for discussion.
Is this a front steer or a rear steer? A rear steer.
It actually articulates.
I understand it articulates, but there are some loaders at the back end turns to make the front end turn.
I see what you're saying. Right.
The Trojans are backwards compared to a Caterpillar or a
I
John
see.
Deere.
Yeah, that I'm sorry, I don't know on that, Joe. I apologize.
Trojans don't usually articulate, right? Trojans are a rear wheel steering.
Well, there's one that I used to drive that was it was a red herring, and the back end would turn the front end instead of the front end making the turn. So it was, if you weren't careful, you'd lose your
Oh,
synchronization. You'd have to reset. But
Yep.
anyway, that's
Yeah.
neither here nor you don't know.
That's right.
So, if you'd like, we could certainly move on to the
Now,
next topic.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is BW12. So again, this is the establishment of a water break truck. We would repurpose the existing for a sewer break truck. Actually, coincidentally, we've had several sewer issues since our last meeting, so it's very fitting. And the issue, and I had the same concern prior to the meeting, I will admit, was the breakdown on the body. Since that meeting, we did pressure the supplier to give us a more detailed breakdown of what that entailed. And as you can see here, the utility body, the line items are as follows. So we were kind of curious as to what that translated to, what the breakdown of each item was, and here it is.
This approved at the finance committee, Jesse.
Yes, sir.
Again, a moot point for us.
Okay. Well, we'll take a vote anyway. Can I have a motion on this? Jesus,
So,
$194,000
yeah,
for a water break truck.
for a utility truck.
It is well equipped, I will admit. And actually the final figure, so everybody can see, because there is a contingency built into that, 213,749 with that contingency.
This thing better last forever.
With the way that we're treating them, I hope that you're right. We are absolutely going to be treating this and keeping it out of the elements as much as possible in the winter time. Obviously we need the backup, but absolutely couldn't agree more.
Those two items were presented already before, but the commission had asked for additional information from Jesse for them. That's why they were both brought tonight with more information. But I do know that he also has something other to discuss that the road committee met on Friday, you said?
Yes, that's correct.
So I'll let him go from there. But these were they were already voted on, but they were just brought back up because more information was requested by the committee.
If I could, I thought this unit here, I thought we tabled this until the additional information was received.
I thought we did too.
Okay. Yep, so sorry. I'm looking
Oh, that's
here
okay.
and it's with finance committee that they're both approved. This one for the 12, the BW 12. Yeah, I don't have that on here, sorry.
No, that's all right.
I'll entertain a motion, I guess.
You already made a motion to approve.
Second. I'll second Joe's motion.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay,
Okay, thank you. All right, and my last item, this is following a recent road committee determination, as some of the members here are aware. Let's see. This is due with North Main paving. So we have very early preliminary numbers on paving North Main. Now, as discussed during the road committee meeting, we originally came forward with 1.5, and that is in line with the request, and I do have some correspondence on that. However, what you will find here is the estimate is 1.6. Interestingly enough, it almost appeared, let's see, so this capital request that I had filled out previously was for that 1.5. However, I did have some correspondence with Mary, and the figures actually came up to 1.6. I guess regardless, it may be a moot point because these are preliminary numbers. They are subject to change. As we get closer to moving forward with the project, we will plan to bid these items once we have a better handle on what the counts are and what we will be proposing for the actual project itself. And Roland, as we had discussed, bringing this forward to Mass DOT, I do have the correspondence included here just to find out and inquire about the bridge there on North Main Street. So I do have some back and forth. So this could indeed change the paving, the final figures on those as well.
Does this new price include the rebuilding of the catch basins as needed?
Right, exactly. So that is something that would change, Joe. Absolutely.
Oh, it's not in this number.
Correct. Correct. So, and we could do it one of two ways. We could either go forward, as we had discussed during the road committee meeting, with a preliminary number of 1.5 and seek additional funding, if needed, after we bid this before Maytown meeting, which at that point we would be waiting for Chapter 90 allocation regardless, or we could hold off and request the entire project once numbers are solidified. So we discussed during the road committee meeting moving forward with the initial request. However, either would work.
Hmm.
And I can bring those figures back up so everybody can see. These figures are based off of previous Mass DOT pricing. So obviously as times and prices change, so will these numbers. But again, we would have a more solidified number once we actually bid the project.
Saw cutting. Asphalt sidewalk driveways.
That cost per square yard, that current, Jesse?
Cost per square yard. I'm sorry, where are you looking, Joe?
Down on the
That's for
bottom.
milling, Joe. That's just for milling.
Okay. So what's the cost per linear foot number of 226? What does that reflect?
I don't know. I'm looking more in the estimate. So in the estimate, they've got super pave. It's a surface course at 12.5 millimeter. They've got it. Price bid $139 a ton. You got an average of 86. I don't know I don't know which number is being used.
Yeah, so up top here, this is our MPV. This would be one of the more recent projects that we had done in-house. So what you're seeing here is the Mass DOT pricing and how it compares to what we've seen for pricing, average, the low pricing on the our MPV.
Okay, so the $827,000, what's it based on?
27. I'm sorry, this year. Let's see. So we're basing that off of Mass DOT pricing and the estimated quantity for that section.
Okay.
These two boxes right here.
So, and you said the other two are based on stuff that we've done?
Yes, yep, our RMPV, if you give me a moment, I can take a look at when that was done. It would have been within, let's see. Okay. It's miscellaneous. There we are,
Yeah.
2022 RMPV, so this was the, road, mill and pave various streets. Let's see, I can get the bid results for that if it's helpful as well. Bidders. Here we are. No, that's not the one I want. Give me just a moment, I'm sorry. What is the pricing on this? Here we are. This might be, no, that's the official form. Unless they were moved, asphalt reports. Just going through all this right now. Certified payroll, distributed to bidders, bid docs, official bid docs. See what this one is. We have our results. Looking for the unit prices just for conversation. I'll just proceed.
Okay, go back to the estimate.
Sure.
You don't have it.
Yep.
This is the contract.
Move on. Move on. Yeah, nothing with the unit pricing there. We typically save those though. Pretty
Well,
cool.
you'd have to have the bid sheets.
Exactly. That's
They-
exactly what
they
I'm
don't-
looking for.
They don't seem to be in here. This seems to be just the contract, the actual contract.
Right. Here we go. Hang on. Low bidders, 2022. Oh, Mass DOT. Those three. I'm sure they're in here. RMPV bid tabs. Here we go. There we go. All right. Let's see. All right. So these were the bidders, and these are the unit prices. Perfect. So at the time when this was bid back in 22, these were the current prices that we received, our low prices.
Plus super pave. $70 a ton. 70. So what the hell's? So I have a price of 70 and I have a price of 73.90. Just won't buy it.
Right.
One more.
Oh, these right here?
That's, you got the top course 455.52. I imagine that's the 12.5. 70. So what's the 70 and what's the 73.90? What's the heading up at the top? Is one an engineer's estimate and the other one a?
Well, these are, keep in mind, these are the two bid prices.
Okay,
So
so these are two
these
different
not
bids.
reflected. Right.
Okay, so you got 70 and 73.
So just for conversation, I'll delete these because they're actually irrelevant. So yeah, these are really the prices that we're dealing with. Good question, Orlin.
And you had 6,600 tons. This is at various locations, right? Okay.
Correct. Yep, exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
And I
All
can
right, go
pull up
back to the other estimate.
for the rest of sure. So just again before we go too far, so these are the locations. You know, we had let's see, Caroline Drive, um, Short, Chamberlain. So it kind of scattered throughout, whereas you know what we're talking about on this other project, it's one area, so it may come in. We'll see. Time will tell, I suppose, where the numbers actually come in. So let's not save that. And this estimate right here.
Okay, so that one there. Oh, yeah. So super pave at 12 and a half. It's only 5,000 tons? Really? Wow. 6,000 tons, 5,950.
That's the surface. What about the, they're putting down two passes? On, there's a
Well, if
73.
they're grinding, if they're grinding out an inch and a half, Joe, they're gonna put it down in one pass.
All right.
It's 1 inch and a
Well,
half pass.
on the other sheet where we had the 273.90 bids, it looks like they're doing two passes. Because one
Yeah, they
was
would do it.
5,900 tons and the other one was 6,350 tons or 65 tons.
Yeah, I didn't look at that one closely, so I'm not sure. But on this one here,
I can pull that back up if you'd like. Opening. All right, so again, I'll get rid of this here.
so they have a leveling course of super pave.
3,300 tons. So all total, it'd be a little over 10,000 tons. The way they got it listed here.
For this one, yeah.
Yeah,
But I
and
don't
that would give
think,
us a total, that gives us a price of 1.6 something, right?
On the previous, do you want me to go back to that, Joe?
And what's the total on this sheet here? Jesse, roll it down.
Yep, 878,000.
178,000.
How do we go from 878 to 1.6?
Oh, no. So this is for conversation. These are prices that we had received back in 2022.
Oh,
These,
2020, okay.
yeah, two totally separate projects. But these are just, you know, basing what we're planning on doing off of previous pricing. So this is strictly preliminary estimates. We have no idea what pricing will
Why,
actually come in at.
why are we looking at this one? Because it's not even in a conversation with the other one.
The reason we're looking at this, Joe, is because I had a question with regards to the price per ton for the top pave.
Yeah, but this is 2020 rolling.
This is 2022. This is
2020.
last year.
Oh, you said 2020, okay. That's only a year off.
So I just wanted to see, because right now the estimate is based on $139 a ton.
Right.
That's a hell.
Let's see. Don't save that.
827,000. Key on that number. 827. Jesus, my God. Down 2, down 3. Oh, up 1. Up. Can you see the 827,000? One, two
Yep.
more.
That
Right
one
there.
right there? No, I can't find it. Thank you.
Okay, so that 827 is based on G14 times F14. G14 is the quantity of 5,950 tons at $139 a ton.
Absolutely. And essentially this is Mass DOT pricing. We usually, as you just saw, come in lower than Mass DOT pricing. However, this does build in a bit of a cushion as well. Absolutely. To that point, Roland, I think we'd have a much better number once we actually bid the project. So I don't disagree with you at all. I think we're coming in high. Um, it could potentially go down. However, this doesn't factor in the structure adjustments either.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, I'll entertain a motion to go with the 1.5 million. And then if something's gotta change, something will have to change. I mean, we can always cut the project back. The bids are
Yeah,
too high,
yeah.
we have the money, cut the project back.
That's certainly something that we could do. Sorry.
May have to do it over 2 years. All right, I'll make the motion for 1.5, Roland.
Okay,
Second.
all those in favor, any more comments and questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye,
Aye.
Aye.
oppose? Okay. Carries. So this did have gates adjusted, gate boxes adjusted.
I think they were just the water gates though.
Yeah, I know,
Okay.
I know. We'll have to look at the saw cutting of the pavement. I'm not sure where we're doing all this, so I think we got. I don't know. We'll look at the saw cutting. Because we're gonna grind all of this, right?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Okay,
All right, excellent. That was all I had. Thank you all for meeting with me tonight. And I
Hey,
do
hey,
have
Jesse,
one.
I wanted to throw something out. So I was looking
Oh.
at the minutes. I
Yep.
probably should have looked at this closer before. But the trucks you're planning on getting, the plow trucks, the
Yep.
bigger trucks, those are internationals?
No, the trucks that we're planning on getting are. Let me pull them up. No, I thought it was. Let me see. Capital.
I thought we were getting rid of a Peterbilt, and I thought the minutes said you were buying an international.
Yeah, that's. Let me check. Let me double check. I think you know what. You might be right on that. I'm sorry. BW. It sounds like that might be off the table this year, anyways, just due to
That's good.
funding.
Because what
Freightliner.
I've heard about internationals is that they're in the crapper.
Freightliner.
No, the internationals have bad motors.
Yeah.
They have a problem with their diesel engines because they're making them in-house.
Does this change anything? It's not an internet. It's a Freightliner.
Yeah, well, that's a little better than
Okay.
international.
Okay.
Right.
I just wanted to double check. I'm like, it doesn't sound right. Yeah, Freightliner is actually what we're proposing in line with the rest of the fleet.
You should just be aware that if for some reason, somewhere along the line here, you've got one coming in that's supposed to be an international, you may want to think twice about that.
No, I appreciate that. That's great to know. Obviously, we want to standardize the fleet, but with a good vehicle, not something that's going down that path. So thank you.
I'll tell you how bad they are. The main turnpike is getting rid of 7 of them, even though they're not that old, because they have so much trouble with it.
So many, really.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awful. That's where we've got Freightliners in the fleet currently. We do have the Peterbilt. I mean, it's a great vehicle. Well, it's been a great vehicle, I should say, up until obviously the rot gets through to every vehicle. But the reason behind the change is we're trying to standardize. That way, you're not stocking various pieces of equipment. For any circumstance. We're just trying to get it in line with the rest of the fleet and make it something that we can sustain with. But no, thank you for the information. I did not know that about the internationals.
And quick question then for my minutes. I have that the B9, that one's gonna be a Freightliner, and let me see what else I had here.
The other one's a Ford.
Okay, yep. Oh, yep, so I just gonna keep this out. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And it sounds like both of those vehicles may not due to funding, they may not go forward. But anyways. Okay, that was all I had. Thank you all very much. Any other questions for me?
Thank you.
Jesse, I talked to the fire chief the other day.
Oh, good.
I met with him. He says the town of Holden has a real undercarriage washer.
He heard that from me. I was telling him about that. Yes.
Well,
that's
why
good.
don't we look into that so we can go forward with that next year?
We could certainly look at it. I will caution that is very extensive, very expensive. I support it. I don't disagree. I think you'll be very surprised when you see what it actually is.
I know you gotta put a retention pit in there to sort out the solvents and stuff. I understand that. And that's gotta be pumped out usually probably a couple of times a month during the winter time.
We could also consider, and just putting it out there, if that wash bay that you're talking about, we could potentially incorporate it easier into 26 Blackstone Street.
Well, that's what I was thinking. When you move your fleet over there, you're gonna have some space. And you move your fleet to depot.
Yep, correct. Okay, good.
And your salt operation is still there and it's right next door to the fire department. Who probably have to wash their trucks every day at least once.
Yep.
In wintertime with all the salt you put down on the road.
Right. No, absolutely. We can certainly bring that up for the next round of capital requests.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I think we ought to have the discussion way before we plan to go forward with a request.
Yeah, I would like to see
Looking
something
at
in the
what it-
springtime. Some data on it. Even if we have to do a field trip, Jesse, to go look at it.
I could make that happen almost
See it in
immediately.
operation.
Right. Yeah, that's actually I used to work for that town, and I know the DPW director very well. They'd be very open to the tour. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right,
Thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
thank you. Do we have any other business, Tina?
We do have Jack here that we could do the 2 sets of minutes,
Okay,
because he was there for the April 11th.
okay. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Second,
Do I have thought I heard a motion. I'm not sure I heard a second.
second,
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
aye,
And then the minutes from October 3rd, I just have to change that international to the Freightliner. I don't know if everybody else has had a chance to review the ones from October 3rd.
Clearly I did.
Mm.
I have a motion on that.
So moved.
second,
So the motion is to approve the minutes, subject to the change of the international to a Freightliner. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
aye,
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Is that it?
Move to adjourn.
Second,
All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Everybody yells at that one, huh?
Yeah.
aye.
I gotta go to the
Meeting
next
adjourned.
meeting. I'm late for the next meeting. Bye.